Pierre's men. They perished in the line of duty.
Ne procès pas. De grâce. I don't want to die. Not like this. Oh, if I had known, I would have set fire to that monster factory long ago.
Tree?
Demonic forges. The Gehenna where you were smelted, just like all the murderers of you.
Monsieur, I have no intention of harming...
If you're telling the truth, then go away. Put down your weapons, please.
These poor people. But
there are still those who resist. Some good people came here earlier and asked me. They swore they would liberate the Hotel des Invalides. They looked at it.
Mats.
Led by those machines went by here. They came from the north, most likely from the factories.
Will happen.
Laissez-moi à présent.
In the Luxembourg Gardens. I should keep looking.
Athénaïs, pour l'amour de Dieu, run and hide!
What do you mean, Papa?
Hurry, I beg you! The Count is at our door. He shall take us away.
Good heavens!
Don't worry about me. Run, I say. Run!
Escape to that hiding place in the Luxembourg Gardens. If I could find... I could track Athénaïs.
Tout-Puissant!
Madame de Polignac,
It's dreadful, Aegis.
how were you able to leave St. Cloud?
All of the machines that were guarding us set out after you. I seized the opportunity to go to the stables.
What are you doing here, Madame?
The children, Aegis. Charlotte and the Dauphin. The Queen and the Marquis de Lafayette did everything they could do to save them from the King's madness. They spent days working out every detail of this operation with the greatest secrecy. The preparations for departure with our accomplices in the Queen's house. The children's escape, hidden inside this wagon. Our meeting here, in this very place. Then our departure with the riders who were to ensure our safe passage all the way to Austria. They would have been safe there with their uncle, the Emperor. But you can see for yourself. The children are nowhere to be seen. Poor Monsieur Cléry. He was the Dauphin's valet. The poor soul gave his life to protect the little ones.
Madame. Four horses for 3 men. Someone is missing. A red cap with a rooster embroidered on it. A list of staging posts between Paris and Liège. Perhaps Madame de Polignac will know what this means. Madame, the attackers all bear the same red cap with an embroidered...
It's the symbol worn by those who...
One of them had a map indicating all the staging posts from here to the Principality of Liège.
Liège? That rabble-ridden city is where the Duke and his miscreants have established...
Over here, there are 4 dead horses. And the body of a...
4 horses for 3 men. That means... It's beyond doubt. The Duke's men have taken the children. They're the ones behind this ambush. And they knew every detail of our plans.
But surely the ambush did not go exactly as planned.
That's true. If only we could catch the one who was able to escape. But now that I think about it, the riders that the if they made it here, they may have been able to... By the grace of God, they may already be on their way to Vienna with the children.
I shall get to the bottom of this. Which garrison?
They are stationed at the Hôtel des Invalides. The riders...
Very well. I will try. As for you, please, you have taken enough risks as it is.
Find the children, Aegis.
after us. You must carry on, I beg you.
I'll never make it. I'm out of breath.
Rambo, dear. Suzanne, just a bit more. We're almost there.
The church and slaughtered the faithful.
going to be all right. This machine is alone and the door is barricaded.
It won't hold. Did you see how easily those demons entered the church?
I mean,
What do you want with it?
what happened in this church?
You should know. It was your kind that slaughtered these lands. I don't think those who were able to escape.
Where are the survivors?
They're hiding in the catacombs behind the church.
There's also the gentleman that the automats took.
Where did they take the gentleman?
We haven't the slightest...
That's enough questions now.
Les Invalides. Here, I should be able to cross the moat easily.
debt was no longer sustainable, Your Majesty. Your mechanical revolution has changed the face of the kingdom, but the coffers are woefully empty.
The debt, Monsieur Necker. This debt that you and your banking friends helped to create for your own benefit, and which is now forcing us to levy new taxes? Will my subjects be able to bear another tax?
Yes, Your Majesty, as long as it is distributed fairly. The representatives of the nobility, the clergy, and the Third Estate must come to an agreement. That is why we have convened the Estates General. Tomorrow you are to preside over the opening ceremonies.
Your Estates General. Nothing good can come of it. You have roused the spirit of rebellion. All I hear about are their damned cahiers de doléances. My rightful enjoyment is being challenged. The streets of Versailles are teeming with loudmouth fanatics with sacrilegious thoughts. Tell me, Monsieur le Ministre, have you purposely set this army of the unwashed against me?
Your Majesty, I have always been your most faithful servant.
Beware, Necker. Beware. I have a surprise in store for anyone who dares attack my throne.
Suzanne, my dear Suzanne, take my hand, please. Don't let them take me away. No. Oh, no, this has to stop. I don't want to be tormented anymore.
That is not my intention. I have come to rescue you.
Rescue me? But what on earth are you?
It is of no importance. What did you see and hear before you
I had frightful visions, rageful wraiths, and it was cold enough to curdle the blood of all the rage and anger. I was in, and there was this commanding voice. Did I really hear it? Or did...
Who are you, monsieur?
Don't you know? I'm Jacques Necker. Ministre... Well, I was before, but this situation suggests that the king has decided...
What does he accuse you of?
My alleged connivance with the Third Estate, no, and most of all, for having been the first...
How and when were you captured?
When the machines attacked, my wife and I fled our home to hide not far from there. In the Église, we didn't stand a chance. They overran the nave, wantonly mowing my wife. My poor wife. As for me, my life was... What is the meaning of all this?
What will you do now?
There is no future for me in this case. I need to find a safe place where I can prepare for...
I will take you to the Cordelier convent.
À la bonne heure, she's back.
Aegis, what a joy and relief to see you again.
Monsieur.
Welcome to our stronghold. I'm sure that everyone here is aware of the great debt we all owe you. As you can see, the most exhausted among us are growing stronger.
While the most determined are already planning our counterattack.
I did not expect to see you all together.
4 days ago, the representatives of the Third Estate gathered in a tennis court. They swore not to separate until they had established a constitution for the nation. But that was not the only oath we swore. All the honorable men who were at Versailles, representatives and patriots, members of the Club Breton, secretly swore to meet here if they were dispersed.
You, Aegis, have allowed them to gather once again. Though unfortunately many are missing, we still have hope.
Why did you choose to meet in this convent?
It was my idea. Voyez-vous, I stay here whenever no other retreat inspires such peace and contemplation. Et puis, truth be told, this building has always felt like a fortress to me. Just look at that.
For 2 whole days, the patriots in the quarter consolidated the outer walls to make it an impenetrable citadel. No automat has broken through our defenses yet.
Where are the monks, mon père?
They are secluded in their quarters, praying for the salvation of the people of Paris. However, we bear no illusions. We are weak, we are divided.
And we are unarmed. Without you, without your warrior strength, we have no chance of turning things around.
You are sent by heaven above, Aegis. From now on, you may consider the Cordelia convent your headquarters and a welcome refuge.
We must speak, you and I, in private, if you please. Monsieur de Lafayette must not hear a word of what I'm about to tell you.
What do you mean? You all seem to be certain that I will use my strengths to serve your cause. Are you forgetting that I have a task to accomplish?
Not at all, madame. We all know and support your plan to free Monsieur de Vaucanson. That is why I've taken the time to think of a way for you to get to the Bastille.
I am listening.
There is a patriot in Paris whose pamphlets have aroused Monsieur de Lafayette's ire. His anger is so strong that the poor man had to disappear to escape arrest. I know that he is secretly hiding in the quarries in Montmartre. A labyrinth he is said to know like the back of his hand. If anyone can help you navigate the obstacles that keep you from the Bastille, it is the elusive Monsieur Marat.
Very well. I will go and find him. Monsieur Necker.
I owe you my life, madame. So I am embarrassed.
Do not fear. You have...
Suzanne, my beloved wife. Despite all the evidence, I still hope to see her alive. Mon Dieu. What have I done to deserve such a fate? What? After everything I've done for him,
Why would the king owe you anything?
I dedicated my life to the kingdom as his minister. I refused to accept any remuneration for my services in order to keep the accounts balanced, and I personally filled the king's coffers with 2.5 million livres from my own private accounts, bonds in the Caisse d'Escompte, which the king keeps in a tailor-made armoire d'affaires, and he stores all his secrets there. I'd wager there's enough in there to sully his... You must retrieve these bonds post-haste. They must not be used to allow this madman to build more.
Do I have any chance of opening it?
Don't even think about it, madame. Despite your incredible strength, that safe is said to... It was designed precisely to that effect. I suppose that its contents were too unofficial for the honest minister that I always was.
Who has the key?
The king does, that's for sure.
Anyone else?
How could I know? His shadow advisors, most now that I think about it. There's a rumor that has been going round Versailles for... It's said that Monsieur de Mirabeau used to come and go as he pleased, that he oversaw diplomatic missions for the crown. Not in any official capacity, of course. Who knows? He might know more about this...
I will ask him. I will look into what happened to your wife.
Bless you, madame.
Where should I start my investigation?
In the Faubourg Saint-Germain, east of Les Invalides. We were separated in the Église Sainte-Marie, on Rue de Bourgogne.
I shall be off.
You are the only hope of seeing my... and of foiling the plans of that...
Aegis, a word, s'il vous plaît.
Monsieur Raymond.
Aegis, we are very pleased. It was very unwise of us to leave the Société without such a capable bodyguard as yours. It is a miracle that we got here safely.
What do you want to talk to me about?
Have you ever heard of the Club de Massiac, Aegis?
No, monsieur.
It's an association that meets at the Hotel de Massiac, just west of Les Halles. It counts some of the wealthiest, those from Saint-Domingue and the Petite Santilles. They are waging a war of influence to keep the slave trade going. And they worship nothing but money. Their greed is matched only by their cruelty. Regrettably, my interests occasionally require me to... 2 months ago, I was in Le Havre to settle some business with the Admiral when I overheard a conversation between 2 planters from Bas. If they are to be believed, the Club de Massiac is plotting to create des esclaves sans sommeil. Those were... It's hard to say what this could possibly, but I fear they plan to administer some foul drug to their slaves to force them to toil day and night. Our organization will not let these poor souls endure such... Aegis, we must look into this.
You speak of greed, Monsieur Raymond. But could you enlighten us as to what makes you any different from the planters you can...
What exactly do you accuse me of, Monsieur de Robespierre? S'il vous plaît.
Do you not also exploit the labor of these poor souls yourself on your indigo plantation?
I fight every minute of every day to improve their...
If that's the case, then why wait? Free them. You preach abolition, yet you continue to line your pockets at their expense. The truth is, you refuse to upend the established colonial order because your entire fortune depends on it.
It's easy to criticize from atop Mount Olympus, Maximilian. You know nothing of the reality. What would happen to all these people if I freed them tomorrow? Without an education, I would be condemning them to the most abject misery.
Any reform, revolutionary or not, must be taken...
This reform is not so difficult. I've begun it myself, at La Belle Gabrielle. There you will not find slaves, but workers who earn a week, and my plantation is no less profitable.
Ah, yes, profit. Because that's the most important thing. Don't you see the law...
Monsieur, calm yourselves. I implore you. What Monsieur Raymond has related to us is extreme. We must find out more about this plot to create sleepless slaves as quickly as... Aegis, you are the only one who stands a chance.
My respects, Monseigneur.
I didn't expect to see you again, sir. We missed you when we had to leave our shelter at Place Saint-Mer. The path that led us to this convent was not an easy...
Monseigneur, I would like to talk to you about your...
What has gotten into all of you? I will say it one last time and pray nothing and no one will make me... Have I made myself clear?
Perfectly clear. Monseigneur.
What can I do for you?
Goodbye,
Allez, on...
Aegis, I'd like to talk to you about my... Do you have a few moments to spare for me?
Certainly, mon père.
I've carefully collected the testimony of but then I compared them with the observations made during my investigation of the man who called... I came to quite the shocking conclusion. I believe I have discovered how, like clocks that never need winding, they get their energy from the souls of the dead. They drink from the anima essence that permeates the purgatory described by Moss. These machines feed on the dead. The greater the massacre, the deeper the rip.
Is there any way to stop the bloodshed, mon père?
I believe there is always hope, Aegis. As long as I remain free to pursue my research, I will never... I keep thinking about the three Nemes. These echoes. All of this is clearly...
The alchemist?
Precisely, mon ami. And this leads me to...
What have we to fear from an alchemist who died nearly 4 centuries?
Not him, per se. Rather the heretic who is exploiting his discoveries.
What do you fear?
What do I fear? Nearly 2 months ago, the king forbade anyone from setting foot inside the Église Saint-Jacques de la Bouche. He had the priests forcibly removed. They hardly even had time to save them. Since then, only our Father in heaven knows what they've been doing there. Hidden away from the people.
Mon Dieu.
My thoughts exactly, Monseigneur. Legend has it the Flamel was buried.
What is the lapis philosopher?
The Philosopher's Stone. No one knows its true nature. All that is known is that it is said to grant its very existence is questioned, of course. But if it's true, just imagine what sinister purpose the king and his accomplices might find for it.
Where is this tomb?
But now they're no longer there to protect. We need to know for certain.
But how? There are
Aegis.
Oui, mon père.
Will you help us get to the bottom of this?
Did you not say that it was impossible?
There is perhaps a solution. The penitent's door behind the Châtelet leads to the Quartier de l'Hôtel de Ville. It's only opened on Good Friday, but this year, I had the honor and good fortune to lead the... Here is the key.
Goodbye, mon père. Monsieur Bailly.
Ah, I am very pleased to find you here with us.
I found a document written in a script that I was unable...
Let me see. Ah, je vois. These pages were written, a variation on Taylor's system, no doubt. I'm wont to use it myself from time to time while jotting...
What does it say?
It's a bit difficult to... Je crois. I believe the author writes that the subject died from a large dose of prussic acid.
What is prussic acid?
My apologies, Aegis, but I'm no chemist. You should ask Monsieur Lavoisier.
Goodbye, Monsieur B. Monsieur Lavoisier.
What can I do for you, Aegis?
What is prussic acid?
It's a volatile compound extracted from Prussian blue, which is a pigment derived from...
What does it do?
Oh, it's a lethal poison, of the most dangerous sort. Though at weaker doses, it merely induces a deep soporific state, or a coma, if you will.
A deadly poison.
Aegis? Is everything all right?
How do you intend to counter the king's actions?
Unfortunately, we don't have the upper hand. For now, I am convinced that something is afoot.
Something that could destroy all our...
You have my full attention.
You should know that I am a gunpowder commissioner. As such, I oversee the provision of gunpowder to the kingdom's arsenals. For the past 2 days, a large quantity of... It's in a warehouse by the... But the men I sent to take possession of the cargo and do you realize what...
The gunpowder could have fallen into our enemies.
It's possible. One thing is certain. Whether it is still in the warehouse or has fallen into the... Then, if possible, we must...
How?
Simply by placing it in contact with... Nothing could be easier in theory, but...
Flood the gunpowder. You're out of your mind. We're in the most desperate of situations and you want to deprive us of... What will our cannons use once we have formed our army of patriots?
Your army, Marquis, is presently but a figment of your imagination.
I see. So you're one of those men who would sound the retreat.
I will go to the warehouse. Once I have located the powder... Goodbye, Monsieur Le...
How was your search at the Vaucanson's home?
I found this penknife there. I saw Mademoiselle de Vaucanson running. This letter refers to a hiding place where she often sought refuge. It's in...
I know the place. One day, Eugène and I were walking in the Luxembourg Gardens when suddenly Athénaïs jumped out from... It was a startling, almost frightening sight. The spot is on the edge of the garden, hidden by vegetation between 2 steps.
Goodbye, Monsieur B.
Eh bien. Do you come bearing news?
No.
I have it on good authority that he's the only person who...
Is your plan to...
Oh, far from it, madame. Even if they were armed and formed into battalions...
Why is that?
Most of the strategic points in the city are inaccessible. They are seized by an irrational fear. One so great that those who do... This makes it impossible to do anything.
The locations you mentioned share a statue holding...
That's right. From what little I could make out, they appear to be depictions...
Lanterne des morts.
What do you mean, monsieur?
Lanterns of the dead. Ancient stone pillars. Our ancestors kept a fire going on top of... Today, no one knows what they were used for. A symbol of light triumphing over darkness, perhaps? Others claim that human bones, mercury, and some odious sorcery that was meant to entrap the tormented souls that wandered around the burial ground.
That makes sense and confirms my observations. I am now certain that the King's lanterns capture the anima essence of the dead who have been caught, and that this essence is what allows the automats to stay in motion.
Paternoster quies in celis sancti.
Now that I think about it, madame, you obviously are not subject to the harmful effects of these lanterns.
No, au contraire. When activated, these
It follows that if you destroy these lanterns, the people will be free to fight again.
Unfortunately, they are preternaturally strong. Nothing...
Come now, no metal is indestructible. If we knew what these lanterns were made of, perhaps I could find a way to...
Take a look at this ledger, Monsieur Lavoisier. It contains... I found it by the factories. Les Vaucansons work...
Let's see. Steel? Tiens, donc, tungsten. This master blacksmith knows his trade. These metals can be used to make the strongest alloy in... as long as you have a fortune to invest.
For that, our clockwork tyrant knows no...
Well, Monsieur Lavoisier, is there any way to...
Break it? Certainly not. But mineral acid could change its structure. I would recommend sulfuric acid or vitriol, if you prefer to use its common name.
Where can I obtain some vitriol?
I had some, but my laboratory at L'Arsenal was ransacked. I can't tell you any more. You should ask my colleague, Monsieur Bailly. He uses similar substances in it.
Monsieur de Mirabeau.
Have your efforts paid off?
Minister Necker claims that you were a familiar face at the Tuileries.
That old story. Will it hound? This, madame, is nothing but an unfounded rumor. To what do I owe the displeasure of...
I must get hold of some documents that are kept in an armored safe in the King's chambers.
What lock could resist your talents?
Minister Necker said it was
Well, let me think. After all, a lock is nothing more than a simple... Nothing that can resist the expertise of our dear Monsieur B. Why don't you ask him for help?
I'll be sure to do so.
Now, who else might be... Oh, there's Monsieur Lavoisier as well. Our gun... I'm sure he'll have no trouble finding you something you can use to...
Good. I will go and find...
Now, if you'll forgive me, I have a...
You are forgiven for...
In that case, it has been...
Have you located Athanasius' hiding place?
No, not.
Look carefully. Remember, it's on the edge of the garden.
I'm looking for a way to force a lock that is... Monsieur de Mirabeau advised me to ask you.
But I'm an astronomer, mon enfant. I know my way around lenses, filters, but I've never given a moment's thought to how a lock... God, Monsieur de Mirabeau was joking. Où est-il, ce brave homme? So that we might...
He has left. A matter that...
Excuse me? Do you mean he left? That's madness. What was so important?
Intriguing indeed.
Have you located Athanasius?
No.
Look.
Would you happen to know where I could find...
Sulfuric acid, combined with sea salt and green copper, but I don't know how much we have. You would need to go to the Louvre and take...
If you will allow...
Of course, madame.
Goodbye. Monsieur Necker.
Madame? Eh bien, do you come back?
I'm not done investigating.
Don't give up. I remember. That's in the faubourg. As for the bond...
Monsieur le Marquis.
I'm listening, Aegis.
I went to the meeting point I had an unexpected...
Get to the facts.
Madame de Polignac. She made no secret of her reason for being in that desolate place. So now I know all about the precious cargo that is the cause of your great...
Seigneur, what happened? Tell me that nothing...
That remains to be determined. One thing is certain. The evidence points to an ambush by the Duc d'Orléans' men. They apparently
How the hell did...
This ambush could not have taken place without an accomplice.
A plague on Orléans and his damned informants.
That still remains to be seen. It seems that the Duke's men, 3 of them lost their lives. A 4th...
Excellent. I bet it was my hussars who sent the vermin running. But why the hell haven't they reported to me yet?
Only they could tell you that.
Would you be so kind as to go and find them? The lives of these my hussars are stationed at Les Invalides. That's from where they were.
I went to the meeting point. I had an unexpected...
Get to the facts.
Madame de Polignac. She made no... So now I know all about...
Seigneur, what happened?
The evidence...
How?
This ambush... That's 3 of...
Excellent. But why... Would you be so... My hussar...
Goodbye, Miss... Monsieur Lavoisier.
What can I do for you, Agent?
I would like to access the contents of a safe that is... Dare I ask for your help, Monsieur Lavoisier?
And how can I be of assistance?
I need gunpowder to break through the door.
Gunpowder? But I don't have a Do you think I just walk around with explosive?
Oh. I apologize.
Mirabeau? What is... Where is the animal? So we cannot...
He has left. He had an urgent...
Eh bien. If I could inspect the safe and determine what metal was used in its fabrication, but given the circumstances, I'm sadly...
I understand. I did not find the warehouse.
Vraiment? It's near Les Invalides, not far...
Where can I obtain some?
I had some, but I can't tell. You should ask He uses similar...
Goodbye, Miss...
Has anyone seen Monsieur de Mirabeau?
Athenais' hiding place. A fight took place here. Franciscus Antonius. What unusual names. Whose cane could this be? Perhaps the guests at the Cordelier can enlighten me. Monsieur le Marquis.
I'm listening, Aegis.
Franciscus Antonius.
Francois Antoine. Hold on. Of course. That's the master arquebusier who killed the beast. The affair took place during the reign of Louis the Beloved, just a few leagues from the castle where I grew up. I was still a young boy, but I remember it like it was yesterday. It caused a stir all over the country.
I doubt that it has anything to do with...
I don't know. I'll let you.
How is your research on Nicholas?
I have done nothing yet.
Don't take too long. Don't forget that the tomb is in the crypt of the Église Saint. The church isn't far from...
Franciscus Antonius.
Let's see. France... No, that doesn't mean anything. Désolé, ma chère.
Goodbye. Monseigneur.
What can I do for you, Aegis?
Do the four names Franciscus and... Go on.
Franciscus Assisiensis, the founder of the order, and, I'm sorry, Aegis, but that's all I can...
Did you go to the hotel?
No, not...
Remember, it's by Les Halles.
I found a cane inscribed with the name Franciscus. Does that mean anything to you?
No, I'm...
Monsieur B. Does the name Franciscus Antonius...
We scholars have the strange habit of I imagine that we're actually looking for someone named But no matter how hard I think, I'm afraid it doesn't ring a bell.
Monsieur Lavoisier.
What can I do for you, Aegis?
Do the names Franciscus Antonius...
No, nothing really.
Francois Antoine...
No, nothing with... I'm sorry, madame.
Goodbye, monsieur. Monsieur Necker.
Madame?
Do the names Franciscus Antonius...
No. I'm very sorry that I'm of no...
Monsieur le Marquis.
I'm listening.
Goodbye. They fled in that direction. I should be able to find a way in. that Monsieur Lavoisier's gunpowder was taken to the Bastille. Barrels were stored here and rolled away. These grooves prove it. Escaped. Able to escape the automats, they ran towards the entrance to the catacombs. escaped. I must inform her husband immediately.